Welcome back to Where is the Money? So the money is not with the market, huh? Or is it? So the CEO of Morgan Stanley and Goldman is saying we should expect a 10 to 15% pullback on the market. A lot of people have been feeling like the market is on the verge of a bubble. Are we almost there? Could be with further indicators like this.
Palantir beat earnings today and the stock fell 8%. That tells you everything you need to know about this market. I'm advisor Andy with your daily market wrap-up for Tuesday, November 4th. The S&P 500 fell 1.2%, the Nasdaq dropped 2%, and the Dow slipped 0.5%. But here's what really matters. When a company beats expectations and raises guidance, yet still gets punished, we're entering a risk-off period. Palantir trades at more than 200 times forward earnings. At that valuation, perfection is not enough. You need miracles, and that's the problem spreading across tech right now. Nvidia fell nearly 4%, AMD fell 3.7% ahead of earnings. Bitcoin is now trading below 100,000 for the first time since June. Tech led all losses, while defensive sectors held steady. With the government shut down at 35 days, we're missing crucial jobs data. No employment reports, no clarity on whether the economy is actually slowing. That blind spot makes investors nervous. Two bank CEOs warned of 10 to 20% corrections ahead. Goldman's David Solomon and Morgan Stanley's Ted Pick are not known for doom and gloom, so when they speak, markets take notice. What this means for your wallet? If you're heavy in tech, today's a reminder that trees don't grow straight to the sky. Cash isn't trash when valuations look frothy. Having dry powder for opportunities beats chasing momentum at any price. The best gains come from buying great companies when nobody wants them, not when everybody does.
Now, if you actively have holdings in the market, then you love when evaluations go up. It's always a good thing. You make more money. Some people saying, hey, you should expect it to kind of plateau a bit. It cannot only go up, which sounds logical, but we always love for it to continue going higher and higher. To the moon is what they like to say. But with the sky-high evaluation and how these stock have been moving with record highs, is that also an indication of a potential bubble?
Everyone wants to remind you that assets go down as well as up. Leading CEOs of financial institutions warning of potential 10% pullback. You've got Michael Burry of The Big Short fame. Christian Bale played him, remember, in his big bet against the housing market. Well, now he's betting against AI darlings like Nvidia, potentially even Palantir, warning that we see bubbles sometimes. You've also got Bitcoin down 20% from its previous high. It's in a bear market. Look, not everything is a one-way bet, and not everything always goes up and to the right. There are macro concerns about access to rare earth metals, about general direction of interest rates, and sometimes we're going to pull back from what has been relentless record highs and relentless demand for artificial intelligence related assets as they plow ever more money into building out infrastructure. Markets aren't a one-way bet, and sometimes you need to brace yourself for downturns. So just a healthy reminder of that as we see Palantir post, once again, record numbers, but shares fall as people worry more about the valuation being completely out of whack with the fundamentals. $4 billion revenue, 63% growth, but almost $500 billion market valuation. Let me know what you think about all the market moves.
So some investors go by this indicator called Buffett indicator. So people say that this aligns with the last few downturns, 08, 2020, and potentially now. Let's get more information about this Buffett indicator, and does it tell us anything about the condition of the market right now that we may not know?
So is the market about to crash? A lot of people are predicting that that is just around the corner, and one of the key indicators that people use to try and determine these things is something called the Buffett indicator, which gives us an impression a picture of how overvalued the market is. It is basically the stock market divided by US GDP. If it is at around 100%, things are pretty even. If it's below 100%, that means the stock market is typically undervalued. If it is above 100%, that means that it is overvalued. In this instance, with this indicator, it is a highly regarded one, and it has previously predicted some pretty significant changes within the market. So if we look back at the previous 3 times that the Buffett indicator has been as high as it is now, we're talking pre-COVID, we're talking financial crisis in 2008, and we're also talking dot-com bubble, which is probably the 3 biggest crashes in a generation in the stock market. Now, in each of those occasions, it was thereabouts at or above 150%, and right now we are seeing it at 170%, which means that using this metric alone, you might say that the Buffett indicator is determining that the market is overvalued, and we could potentially be looking at a crash imminently. Now, what will happen from this video is I will get dozens of comments and DMs, which I always do, saying is now a time to sell, hold on to my cash, and then try and buy when it bottoms out. Now, history again has shown us that the very vast majority of people that try and do that will underperform just staying in the market, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
So if I'm hearing this correctly, it is market cap divided by GDP. So in 08, in 2020, it added up to roughly 150%. And according to him, in his math, I didn't do the math, he did the math. So going off of what he said, currently at 170%, which got us overdue for a correction. Now, with that said, it is hard to know when that correction will happen. Some say before the end of the year, some say first quarter of next year. It's hard to time the market, but people do feel that things are inflated and a correction is due. So what do you make of this? Are you deciding to pull back? Are you just staying put, holding where you are? Are you gaining new stock and buying up new stock? What's your position? How you feeling? Is it a crash? Is it a correction? You tell me. Put your comments below. Let's talk about it. This is Where is the Money? Talk to you soon.